For the last time in this campaign, I want to bring in now Bill Shorten's former Chief of Staff and Director of Strategies at GXO, Cameron Milner. Cameron, thank you for your time. Great to have you on. I wish I was feeling
Likewise.
a bit better. I wish you were feeling a little bit worse tonight. I suspect you will be there in the winner's circle on Saturday night, but I hope to God Australians wake up and I am wrong. I have to say it's been lacklustre on both sides. I scratch my head and say, look, we've got all these big issues facing Australia. We've got all these critical issues globally, and we seem to be talking about asinine nothingness, delulu and salulu and absolute rubbish. I mean, where's the policy, mate?
Yep.
Where is the policy?
Well, it's a policy-free zone, isn't it, Peter? I mean, it's all politics, and that's the problem. I mean, we're about to have Labor's worst Prime Minister on record re-elected because of the worst Liberal campaign on record. I mean, it's appalling to watch. But here's the situation. I mean, Peter Dutton during The Voice has, a man of faith, a man of values, who stood up and said what he wanted to say. And now the Liberal Party machine's got hold of him. I mean, the headquarters, a bunch of bedwetters and eunuchs the Liberal Party have got at the moment, dumbing him down to backflips and, banana bread recipes. I mean, it is appalling to see. And little wonder that Albo's definitely going to be Prime Minister after Saturday. And he may well get there in his own right. The Liberal campaign has been that bad. The old days are much better, Pete. I mean, where's the campaign clarity of Tony Abbott with the stop the boats and axe the tax? I mean, the Liberals used to be good at this. This time round, they've been appalling, and Albo's going to be Prime Minister because of it.
I remember when I worked in the Howard government, my first campaign was 98, and you used to have to work in a portfolio team to put together documents. I worked for the Communications Minister at the time. We had a policy on the ABC, we had on mobile phone towers, we had one on, at that stage, the privatisation of Telstra.
Yep.
Everything had its policy document. It was costed, it was written up. You put them all up on their website. The journalists who had more of a brain than some of them do now in Canberra would pull them apart, they'd interrogate the costings.
Yep.
None of that happens anymore. And you get a situation where the Prime Minister, and I'll go to this one again, he's called out repeatedly about the deficit, the quantum of the deficit he inherited. He doubles it every single time. He makes it 78 billion. It was not 78 billion, but he gets pulled up and then he lies within the next 20 minutes. How does that happen?
Yeah. Well, and the Howard days, he actually took work choices to the electorate. He took the GST to the electorate. He took big ideas to the electorate and got voted in as a consequence. This time round, we've got the blancmange. I mean, this is like a weak Albo who has yet another day of another weak idea, another lie, another, suffocation like this. I mean, this guy's got away with blue murder during this campaign and hasn't been held to account. And it's not the Canberra Gallery's job. It's actually his opponent. It's the Liberal Party who should be putting him through the test. And they had him on the ropes. So they had him on the ropes at the end of last year.
No, I agree with you. It is ultimately up to the opposition to oppose, to put the Prime Minister under some pressure.
Yeah.
I guess my concern here is, if the government is returned and it's a hung parliament scenario, there's a deal done. You and I know there's a deal done with the Greens. I mean, the Greens and Labor don't exchange preferences in the way they do if there hasn't already been a power-sharing deal. Give us a sense of how diabolical that might be.
Well, this won't be Wattle Tree 1.0. This will be an Albo and Bant, terrible, terrible situation. I mean, forget our foreign policy in regards to Israel, forget our weak position around China. What we're going to do on tax under the Greens and Albanese. I mean, this unrealised capital gains tax will be on steroids. I mean, death tax, inheritance tax. The Greens are a bunch of socialists at the heart of it. And Albo's left-wing socialist left will love being told to implement those policies. So we're in for a really, really tough and hard time. And that's why I say, I think soft voters are probably going to plumb for Albo in a majority potentially by Saturday night, Peter, just to stop these rabid Greens actually having the whip hand in the next parliament. He
will still need to do deals to get everything through the Senate, though. And, if you look at the dire situation of the books, the financial numbers are there. We've got our credit rating basically at grave risk. I mean, I think it's going to be a pretty difficult next 3 years economically. There's talk the US will fall into recession. I just don't think he's up to the job.
Well, no, I don't think he's been up to the job for the last 3 years, but that's what the election was supposed to be about. I mean, this should have been a referendum on Albanese, and it hasn't been. I mean, it's been a let out of jail free pass for Albo. So he hasn't been put to the test. He hasn't been brought to account. He hasn't had to be paid for all the mistakes and all the broken promises. And he's going to get another 3 years. And as you say, I mean, he was quite happy to negotiate with Adam Bandt in the last 3 years for some diabolical legislation. Goodness knows what's in store for Australia in the next 3.
Let me ask you about The Voice. Last night I said The Voice and Penny Wong's intervention was absolutely pre-planned and deliberate. They will bring The Voice back. They'll
Totally right.
legislate at this time. When pushed about it today, the Prime Minister said, I'm not talking about a referendum for treaty. I'm not talking about a referendum for truth-telling, which is Makarrata. Yeah. Well, he doesn't need a referendum for either of those. That was obfuscation. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes. No, you're absolutely right, Peter, and I think you called it out perfectly on the program last night. This was premeditated. I mean, Penny Wong is precision ordnance. She doesn't say a single thing without meaning what she means. And so the situation here is they've deliberately done it before polling day because there's so much hubris, so much arrogance from Labor. They're going to ram The Voice through in the Parliament, next Parliament. And the reason why they've done it before polling day is they're going to say to voters, oh, but we told you about it before Saturday. We told you about it before polling day. No, this could have been ruled out absolutely. Instead, Annika Wells went out and doubled down on it today. So no, The Voice is absolutely Albo's plan. It was his surprise moment, on election night last time, and he desperately wants to do voice, truth and treaty as his legacy in this next Parliament.
Well, just before we go, I mean, I think it's Buckley's chances. He will be there at the next election. What do you think?
Yes. Oh, look, I've written about this too, Pete. I mean, there's no way the Labor Party's DNA lets a weak bloke like Albo survive more than about 12 months. So, no, even if he gets them across the line, there'll be a bit of a hoorah-rah and stuff like that, and then suddenly the knives will be out. Tony Burke's too old not to go have a crack at it. Jim Chalmers is too talented not to stay around there. Tanya Plibersek, who's going to be snubbed, will want to be leader. There's a whole group of people who are so much better to lead Labor than Albo.
Well, taxpayers, I have to say, wait till he walks Jodie down the aisle on the lawns of Kirribilli House. After that happens, if he was to win, I'm not saying he's going to win yet, but if he wins, I reckon it's game on then. Cameron, I've loved talking to you, another campaign practitioner with me every week during this campaign. It's been terrific. Thank you.